Hi guys, I thought it was about time I shared my hardback journal that I actually do my journaling in. And this was a Jane Austen Junk Journal. That was the way that I started out on this particular journal. It's a hardback. It's got approximately a 2-inch spine. It's got 2 signatures inside, and I've just wrapped easy binding around the outside. I haven't sewn the signatures in, purely because I keep expanding. So it's got a seam binding closure. I'll get it off in a second, which just literally hooks over this exceptionally big journaling handle. Right, so I started it at the beginning of this year, so it is work in progress. And what I've done is I've obviously visited at some point Jane Austen's house, and I've got myself some journal prompts that I put in the front, and I've done a lot of writing in this journal. I've also taken advantage of just some of the decorations. I've made envelopes out of book pages. I've used stationery. I've got quirky pieces of trim, paper clips. It's all in here in some shape or form. I've used muslin, ribbon, and made interesting little sections with my envelopes. I've used tracing paper, and I've journaled, I've photocopied, I've done sketching. A little bit of everything. Got a tea bag here that I cut out into this little fossily shell. I've got this little ship going on there. We've got a bit of Shakespeare underneath this tuck spot here. More journaling, which I've just placed underneath. We've got a napkin that I've used a heat and bond to transfer these lovely girls sitting on a bench. We've used a cuttle bug, and I've just run this through with some vellum, and then you can see it's just a Jane Austen postcard. Yet again, underneath this little doily tuck, and it can go just like so. It's got a little stopper in the corner there. More journaling about going to tea rooms. I've just got a stamped teacup here, and I've got some ephemera. Just even got a little note of my darling daughter. Good morning, I think I did well shopping wise. So just a little story from my daughter about her shopping trip to go and purchase some food. More journaling pages, more writing. As you can see, it's heavily been written in. And then we've just got some owls, some heavily coffee stained with a plastic doily here. A little napkin that's been just lovely bees that I put in the centre of this page, and then I've written around it. All types of ephemera here. Just got some wonderful pictures yet again. Lovely couple outside by a beehive. Got a lovely little tag. This book belongs to, just a wonderful sewing machine there. More journaling space, lovely little tuck. Then this page is using gifts that were gifted to me, which I've put inside the journal. As you can see, I've done journaling. I've got a tag behind here, just seeing if I've done some more journaling. And I just journaled on cards. And predominantly, if I needed lines, I used a ruler and a pencil. Nothing more drastic than that. And then I've got more little pieces of ephemera, more tags tucked inside this little envelope. And in this little pocket here, more journaling, so that comes out. So there's a lot going on this particular page. I'm going to leave that like so. Some of my vintage photographs here, and I believe I just put some coffee stained paper on the back, yet again lined it up. This is a copy of an old book I've got, and this went on to photographic paper, so you will see there's a bit of a sheen. And so that just goes behind this little clip. More pieces of ephemera, which I've just turned into a tag. You've got an English breakfast tea, and underneath we've got a tag that comes out at the bottom rather than at the top. Made a belly band here. Just used the die cut and just literally rubbed over it with a lilac pencil, and this is my belly band. I've got a little picture, or a black and white picture here, didn't come out very well, and that's why it's in this journal. And more little pieces of photographs that I've got in my collection. And this happened to just be, this paper here just happened to be draw liners. It's lost its scent. We've got a decoupage napkin here on some music paper and a little bit of purple trim. More journaling, and I've just got this little butterfly here which I dyed with some elderberries, a Jane Austen notelet, back of the music paper, and you can see it hasn't got the napkin on. Made a couple of nice pockets for the centre of the signature, and behind here, this is the wallpaper that they discovered in Jane Austen's house, and they've replicated it, and so this is a gift wrap. And I've just got more pieces of ephemera, more writing on journaling cards, an Alice in Wonderland bookmark, and some stamping I've done there. I like to have little pieces of stamped ephemera ready to hand. This says this book belongs to, remember, and more of my journaling there. Me going away on holiday, and I've just written down some of the food that I've had, some of the locations that we visited. So this is a seaside special to Blackpool. And here we went up into the Lake District, so you've got an image literally straight from a magazine, more napkin onto the music paper. This is now going into the Lake District. Another little napkin of this lovely girl here, just a little envelope with another little journaling tag inside. So this is about my visit. The theatre, more about the trails and the culture up in the Lake District. Postcards that we've purchased, yet again, I mean, we had cranberries and orange, a wonderful juice that was made freshly for us when we were in Grasmere. Here we went to the Textile Museum, and so I've just got information about the textiles, churches that we visited, flyers. So we went to Oswald Mill. I brought my dad his birthday card whilst we were there. This page is a mixture of Happy Mail and items that have been given to me. So I've got this wonderful envelope here from my friend Sharon. I've got a lovely tea that's come from Finland, and this has come from Katie, which I've just put inside this little card. And we've also got this little ATC. This all just tucks behind. Then we've got a coffee stained envelope which I've stamped, and then I've just got this which has come from a magazine, For the Love of Food, and then I have just literally journaled on the back. And yet again we've got a little fabric embellishment which I coffee stained up, and another one of those wonderful tea bags that I put into this aperture card from Finland from my friend Katie. And then that brings us up to the current day, and now we're slowly approaching autumn, and I wanted to take advantage of anything that relates to sunflowers. The sunflowers in our local area are absolutely doing their best, and so I have been trying to work on doing some stamping with some stamps to try and bring as much as I possibly can into a sunflower theme. So the stamp that you see here is from Sunlight Impressions, just a wonderful big print of sunflowers. In my collection I'm going to try and use this particular CD style of stamp, and inside I've just taken advantage of stamping up the cloth fabric. It's got a little bit of everything in here. Tissue paper. I tend to keep a whole wealth of things. So this will give you an idea of what I've got to play with. And I will be trying to do a little bit more journaling later on today. So I've got some fabric here, which I've just stamped on using Stays On ink. It's not designed for fabric, but it seems to have done the job quite nicely. We've just got all sorts of pieces of some sunflowers there, little stamps, done some fussy cutting here of this little sunflower, and I think that came out of Daphne's diary. Bees, which I've just got on this mixed media paper, more sunflowers. So I've obviously fussy cut that, and this has come out, and this is just wax crayon on some photographic paper. So you can see I've got lots to be playing with. These are just little sayings, but yet again this is just on a piece of rough paper, and it has just had black, orange, just acrylic paint with a little bit of metallic in there. And then I've just gone across with the Stays On ink. So any of my scraps basically, and you can see just how wonderful that lovely stamp is on the sunflowers across all of this mixed media paper. And it goes on. So I won't bore you. I've even got the napkins. So these are my excuse me, my mop-up wipes. And there's no reason why you can't just stamp on your mop-up wipes as well. So that's what I'm going to be doing a bit of journaling later on with. I'm going to stop there, and I hope you enjoyed just looking through my journal up to date. I'll catch up with you later, guys. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.